job, Tucker. Thanks, buddy. Thumbs up. I'm only giving you one thumbs up, not two.
No, just YouTube.
Okay. That's outrageous.
We did Twitter once.
Hey, Tucker, could you, I don't know, do your job and just.
Wow. And he has such a nice sweater.
You look good today.
Yeah,
that is
I
fly.
thought we might do video today. And
That
even
is
though I'm not on
fly.
camera,
Yeah,
I thought I should wear my nice sweater.
Did you
I
get that
never
for
think.
Christmas?
I bought it for myself.
I
Really
never
good,
think to dress for video.
Yeah, that's why I wear those.
I know. You, of course, you think about it, obviously. And you
Well,
look
we're
fine.
going to be using it.
I just never think about it. Wearing my Schwarber shirt today,
There you go.
though. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm wearing my Mike Schmidt shirt. Damn. See?
Fourth,
the
fourth best team in the city.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or fifth, I guess, if you include
No,
you.
the best team in the city.
Yeah.
Number one best team. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right. Okay. Do it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm ready. Hey! Hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James
What
Seltzer.
up?
Look at your beautiful face
What
today.
up?
How
What
you
up?
doing, buddy? You look
We're-
good. You
we're
look
in the
together.
studio.
You look
Thank
like
you.
you look fly today.
Yeah, thank you. Well,
it's a nice
I'm,
Union jacket you got going on there.
I'm
I like
3
it.
days into my New Year's resolution of eating healthier, so
That's my
figured I'd
New Year's
go-
resolution.
figured I'd go.
Look at us.
I'd go unique.
Look at
I
us,
feel like-
buddy.
I feel like it's not something people do often. I wanted to, you know me, I zig when people zag.
Oh yeah, it's. You
I
might be
don't-
the. I mean, well,
I don't
we
meal for
might be the
breakfast.
first two people to ever do it.
Trendsetters as
Yeah,
always.
yeah, it's good.
But no, I think
Proud
what
of
you're
you, man.
sensing from me is like the glow of just feeling that I knew I was right. The season was going to turn.
Okay, so the season has turned around. I didn't know. That is news to me that the season has turned
The
around
A.J.
because
Brown-
someone talked.
The AJ Brown press conference is going to go down in Eagles history as like the moment where this season.
Okay, so I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I'm like being 85.
So, all right, so let's
I'm
talk about it. Let's dive in. Like, no,
Yeah.
I got a great final thought today. I'm using one of my best ones because I
Oh,
know we
wow,
got a
all
bunch coming next week, but you know what? Screw it. I'm using one of my best ones today. I can't wait.
All
I'm
right.
really excited about it. We'll get to all the fun stuff. Let's dive right in because this is a big deal. And,
Yeah.
you know, we wait for him for weeks to speak. Find these weeks. I will say that I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yep.
Like, I think, you know, pretty much everyone, I think, agrees, you know, really honest, forthright, you know, said what he needed to say to kind of get them back together. I think it has zero effect on this season. Like
Right.
does A.J. Brown speaking stop another offense? No. Like that. I just look. It's nice, and it makes me feel. Look, we agree we wouldn't fire Sirianni. We said that last pod.
Right.
It makes me feel much better that they're not going to fire Sirianni. I feel much better about job security, all that type of stuff. But like, what does him talking do for this team? Like, other than be like, all right, well now AJ is on the record. Like, it's
Well,
not like they're
so
gonna play much
Here's
better.
what I think the AJ Brown press conference did. One of the main problems with this team was the tension and the ugliness of the team. It was tense. People were mad. There was a lot of calls on WIP like, you know, AJ Brown doesn't like the coaches, and of course he doesn't because they're idiots and they don't trust each other. Blah 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 blah. Maybe you had to be there. I'm just saying, being in front of AJ Brown when he spoke, it felt like you know when you're sick and all of a sudden your temperature breaks. That's what it felt. It felt like the tension in the room. It felt like the tension in the room just went down 10 levels. He was charismatic. He was honest, I thought. He said what needed to be said. He defended the coaches. And I also think part of it is like the fan reaction to this press conference. I can just speak for what I saw on Twitter and the callers. Like, and I know you probably got a different thing in the morning show, but like people seem to be very happy with what he said.
So we did a poll.
I know.
It
I saw
said-
this.
yeah.
I saw this. Yeah.
So
I saw this.
the mass majority of people said maybe a little bit. Most people said not at all.
Not at
it
all.
did
I get
nothing for
that.
them. Like,
I-
so I just don't think that like
I'm just,
and the calls we took, like the vast majority of people were like, that's nice, but like the
Right.
defense can't stop
Yeah,
anybody.
look, but the defense, I agree, doesn't help the defense. What I think this does help is, and look, they have to ride the momentum of this into Sunday, and we'll talk about if they're going to play and all those things. But I've said all along, like what this team needs is just something to go right. They need momentum. They need like a positive thing. And I thought the A.J. Brown thing was a super positive thing. He went out and he was like, it's not the coaches. I like Brian Johnson. I like Nick. Well, do I think he was mad about coaching? Probably, right? But regardless, like he was letting Nick flounder out there, and that's over now. I think what he said is true. Like he specifically defended the sequence everyone's been ripping him about, where it was poor execution on that draw wide receiver screen thing. He talked about the
It was
Seattle.
poor play calling too.
Yeah,
I don't care
well,
what AJ says. It was a dumb play call.
I don't think it was.
I think it was
but
a dumb play call.
But
I
if
think AJ probably did too, and he's just defending.
I don't think so. If you look, so Jason Kelsey said he was excited about the first down play.
The first down.
Yeah.
Forget first down.
Okay.
I'm
The
talking
sec-
about second and third.
Yeah, the
is when it
sec-
was a disaster.
No,
And AJ's line about he would have broken. It was just crazy.
it's
the
not.
Buda
If
Baker
you
was
watch
right
it.
there.
Yeah, I'm right.
Buda Baker was right
Yeah,
there.
like, you're right. If someone blocks Buda, Jalen's.
There is no chance that Jalen was scoring on that. There's no
I
chance.
disagree.
Buddha was no one's blocking Buddha.
If you watch the play, if someone gets Buddha Baker, he has a lane to go. I don't know what to tell you. Like I can pull it up. Like,
Richie diagnosed it on the air. He broke it down the exact play as he was watching it.
If you look, like there, regardless,
he disagrees with you. Richie said there's no chance,
and I disagree with Richie.
Good.
And AJ seems to agree with me.
Well, AJ, let's put the
But
disclaimer
so
out
did
there.
Jason Kelsey.
We
said
don't
it
know
too.
what AJ said. We don't know the truth of what AJ said. All we know is what he said. It's nice. It seems like it's true. We don't know. Like again, let's get to his freaking answer about the Seattle thing. Like he put it on the players. Cool. So that means that you guys didn't trust the call.
See, I don't have that takeaway.
But that isn't. But how can you look at it any other way?
Because how do you feel about
Audible? The
Audible?
coaches put in a play, and they're like, let's go what we want to do.
Right.
Like, I don't trust this call. Like, that's all it is.
So I think it was Kansas.
And it was stupid what they did.
So I think it was Kansas City. I'm almost positive. There was the play that
you talking about the Seattle play.
No, I know.
Oh.
But I'm saying there was a play against Kansas City where Jalen audibles to a play and hits Devontae down the field, and he gets tackled at like the 2. And I'm pretty sure that was a play Jalen audible, right? Like, so there it's like they don't trust like that was not perceived then because it was said after the game that wasn't audible, and that was look at Jalen, look at the control he has. Like audibling is not a big deal. Like what he's basically saying is they audible. Now, I think the use of the word improvise is interesting. Like
he used the word improvise.
I know, but
he didn't
regardless,
say audible.
I know, but regardless, what I'm saying is yes.
It was like schoolyard. Let's go out and improvise.
Right, but I don't think that means they don't trust the coaching. Like unless you think audibling is always a shot at coaching.
No, I don't. But in that case, like it's the last play of the game. Like you need to at least like
right. And they saw something that they thought in the Seattle game. We're talking here, not Arizona. They clearly saw something they felt.
Well, then they were dumb, like incredibly dumb, to think that they should throw the ball downfield in that spot when you just need to get a field goal.
That's a different debate. You were saying switching means they don't trust the coach.
Well, it means they didn't like the coach, the call the coach called in that spot.
Right.
He didn't say we audibled. He said we improvised.
I know.
That is an important clarification.
I agree.
He didn't say, hey, the call came in, Jalen saw something, he changed it out of it, he audibled, we did something else. He said we decided to improvise.
Right. I agree that there is a potential distinction between improvise and audible. I do, right? But regardless, I don't think him saying they changed the play or audible, improvised is what he said. I don't think that means they don't trust the coaching staff. I don't. Because then, I mean, they like, there's audibling all the time.
Yeah. I just don't believe, AJ, that he, like, fully believe, like, and look, I think he defended the coaches. I do believe him that Nick took bullets for them and all that, and I think they appreciate and all that.
Yeah.
I just, like, it did not, like, it made me feel 0%,
well, here's
0% better about their chances this year. Maybe about, like, the team and the
right.
connection, like, a little better, and Nick, a little better, I guess.
Right.
But, like, 0% do I think this makes them a better football team.
So, I also think the A.J. Brown press conference was perfect for, like, what are those things called where you look at a piece of art and you see what you want to say?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
They're like ink blocks.
I know what you're talking about,
right.
but I don't know what there's a specific word for.
Okay, so I think the A.J. Brown press conference was you got from it what you wanted from it, right? Like, I believe the main problem to me is player execution. That's my belief. Maybe I'm wrong. That's my belief.
I think talent is the main problem on defense.
Yes. So I view this as almost two different teams.
But again, see, I think you are only focused on the offense, like usual.
Right.
When the reason the Eagles are going to lose is the defense.
Right.
Like, I don't. AJ can say whatever the hell he wants. They got to score 45 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't going to happen.
Well, all right. So I agree the defense is really bad. Now they're getting Slay back. I think that'll help.
It'll help.
Right, and their Cunningham is back. Like they will be a healthier defense, which I think will help. Regardless, I think the defense is bad. I think Patricia's a bad coach. I think they're poorly coached on the defensive side of the ball. Like there's a lot of clips this week that are circulating of confusion before the defensive snap. That falls on Patricia and it falls on Nick as well. Like the defense is bad. The point I'm making about the AJ thing is twofold. One, it helps the offense, which helps the team, in my opinion. But two, it is undeniable that it was incredibly tense and ugly around this team the last for everyone else. But like, and I think in the locker room too.
Well,
he said he
like
apologized.
He had apologized and all. But like again, I just think it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like it's like
performative.
Not even just that. Like fairy tales and rainbows. To think that him giving a press conference is going to change the chemistry, the complexion, the whole thing of this team. Like it feels like it's like.
It's not gonna fix the defense.
It's hoping for something that is
I don't
not
think
there.
It's hoping for something. I think it's fixing a problem that was there. They had 3 problems. The defense sucked. They are sloppy on offense and have whatever. And they were like bad vibe team. Like that's what they were. And I think this fixed one of the problems.
Yeah, I just don't think it. Look, I get your point. You think AJ's speaking, everyone's all hunky dory now. It's like, oh, if they had issues before, and we don't know what they did, but let's say whether it's Jalen and AJ, whether it's this and that, and I don't think it's Jalen and AJ. I'm just saying.
I think I'm not as sure.
Okay, well, regardless, like you just think that AJ spoke, so it's all good.
I think it lowered the temperature in the room. That's what I think.
Maybe a little. Again, I just don't think it's enough. Like, I don't think it matters. Like,
Well, no press conference is fixing the defense. I agree with you on that.
I don't think any press conference is fixing the team. Is my point.
But if we think the
Again,
problem
because
is
look,
vibes, but
well,
if
we think part of the problem is vibes. We also
Right.
think part of the problem is execution.
Yeah.
I think a part of the big problem is play calling. Like, I think
Right.
like AJ Brown saying what he said doesn't fix the play calling for me. It doesn't make the play calling better.
well, but I do think
right?
No,
Well,
I don't think the play
you
calling
don't have an
is
issue
bad.
with it,
I
but
know,
but you would
correct, yeah.
agree. You would agree that I'm in the majority on this.
You are in the majority.
The vast majority of Eagles fans,
Correct.
and people who talk about the team and whatever think the play calling has been
But it
bad
doesn't-
offensively this
But
year.
it doesn't seem the players
Below
feel,
average.
It doesn't seem the players feel as strongly as you guys.
Well,
do,
cool,
as
whatever.
the-
It doesn't matter.
Well, it
I think the
does.
play calling's been bad.
No,
Like,
I know. But I'm saying like for this team,
and also they might be. He's defending his guys. Like he stood up for Nick and Brian yesterday.
Right.
We have no idea how true it
but
actually is.
Kelsey, who we agree, right, is like you talk to him every week. He's
Very
very
honest.
honest.
Yes.
On his pod, went through the sequence and defended all of it. Like defended poor
Well,
execution.
You're just talking
on
about
first.
one. I'm talking about the season.
No, I know,
I'm
I
not
know.
talking about
Well-
the 1st and 20. Whatever. That was fine. If they want to defend those
Right.
specific plays, that's fine. I wouldn't. I
Right.
thought it was nonsense to run a quarterback draw on 2nd and 20 there or whatever. I thought
Right.
it was among the dumbest calls they've called all year.
Right.
And then in a slip screen to game, I thought that was an idiotic play when you have freaking AJ Brown out there. Like, throw the freaking ball to AJ Brown. That's
but
why.
like
Regardless, forgetting that. I'm talking all season.
Right.
I think they have been bad at play calling on offense. I think they throw their guys out and say win one-on-one battles instead of scheming guys open, instead of doing interesting stuff. Again, I know I've said it 100 times,
Right.
but
You
how
don't
many
say
times
plays that say wow.
ever,
Right.
ever?
Right. But we're all right. We're getting off topic. We've had
No,
this.
we're
debate.
on topic.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I think like
we are right in there.
Well, no. I think the AJ thing is highlighting what people don't want to accept, which is the problem is player execution, and I think it lowered the temperature on the coaching.
I think it's
Apparently
both.
it did not.
No, but it's both. Like, I think that you are absolving the coaches just 'cause
I'm
what
not
AJ said. That's crazy.
Well, it's been my opinion this whole time.
Right.
Like AJ validated what I think.
But
is the
you
problem.
think
Yes.
everyone else?
But
a
I
lot
think
of people
AJ's
don't.
correct. Unless you think AJ, and I don't want to use lying. 'cause
I
that's a
think
strong
no.
word,
I
but,
think
like,
that AJ is defending his coaches
But he gave specific examples. Like we
on those plays.
Yes.
We're talking about one drive.
but think about this, right? So what?
And again, I still disagree with it.
Right, but think about this. Some of the things the coach had been ripped for. The last play against Seattle, right? They were ripped up and down. How could he do that? He's so
Again,
dumb.
No,
but
I'm
hold
not
on, hold
focusing
on.
on specific plays. I'm focusing on the whole season.
But what I'm saying is, like the specific plays that you're mad about, the players have said it's their fault. So don't you think that on the whole season,
every
if we
play,
went-
all
no,
season,
not every play, but the problem is
the
player-
full Niners game, the full Cowboys game, the full
No,
what do you
it's
mean?
not. It's not all or nothing. But what I'm saying is the plays that people like you and other people are mad at the coaching have used to say that it's the coaching. AJ came out yesterday and Kelsey in his own pod and explained that it's not the coaching. So that's what I'm trying
though,
to say.
they are players on the football team whose coaches are embroiled right now, and they
Right.
are defending their.
And I think that
coaches.
matters. To just
I think it matters
for
in
sure.
that they
Right.
have their coaches back.
Right.
I don't think it means that they actually believe that it's the best possible offense they could be running or the best plays they could be calling.
Look, do I think they believe every play call is perfect? No. Just like I believe the coaches don't believe the players are executing everything perfectly. They've lost 4 out of 5 games. Both have to be better. I'm not absolving one side. But I think what AJ said is true and is reason to believe, because what he's saying is it's execution problems. That's what Kelsey's saying. Like, I know they're 1-4 in their last 5 games, but they're closer than what that 1-4
I disagree
indicates.
with them.
I know
I
you-
think
I know you
execution
dis-
problems are a big part of it, but I think that, again, I disagree.
I know
think it's
that's
bad play
fine. I know
calling.
you disagree, but for me, what I'm saying is it reinforced my belief that this team can turn it around, because once they execute better, like there are plays to be made there. I know you disagree with the play calling on the draw, and the wide receivers.
Period. I just
I know
don't
you
agree
do.
with the
I
play
know
calling
you
this
do.
season.
I know, but I'm using this as an example, right? If they execute those plays better, they probably win the Cardinals.
But it's the thing. Like, okay, fine. If they execute those plays better, there are also 100 plays that you could have called that were way better than that. Even if they executed those, it'd be even better.
But
like,
I don't think I like those plays
they
were set
ran
up to
back-to-back
work.
quarterback screens,
Right,
man, or
but
draws.
they-
I mean, are you
but those
freaking
plays
kidding
were-
me?
but those
With
plays
no
were-
option for Jalen to throw, with him tucking the ball like a freaking running back and
Right.
running out to the side. Like
Right.
Jalen doesn't have the speed this year. Like, know your offense, know your players. I think it's nonsense.
But the plays were there to be made.
Oh,
Like
come
they
on,
just
man.
were. When you look at it, they were.
There's any play in the NFL, there's always going to be someone you could do, something you could do
Yes,
to make a play.
I agree.
They were not the best plays to be made, is my point.
I'm just saying the players seem to disagree.
The players are defending their coaches. I do not believe for a
Do you
second.
think Kelsey on the podcast
I think
is
that
not telling
Kelsey.
the truth?
No, I think that he's telling part of the truth. I think he's telling that I'm going to defend these plays because I can. But if you said, Jason, would you have called those plays in those spots? I'll bet you would have said no.
I think the second down play is really the
It's a horrendous, disastrous play, and that's what sets up the screen because you're just trying to get a field goal. Like, so it's a massive issue.
So how you feel is how I felt in the moment of it, right? Like watching it in the stadium is how I felt, and I think like the ugliness was reached like a peak at that point, right? But when you go back and watch the play, again,
I just think you're letting AJ AJ had to say like completely
because I believe
dupe
him.
you.
Well, I
into
believe
it.
him. I believe what he said, and maybe you had to be. I'm not like saying, but Howard said this on the thing too, like on the radio with you guys, and I'm paraphrasing, but I think he said something like the feeling around it while he was doing it. I'm just saying, being in that locker room when AJ talked, it was a feeling of like, whew, like okay, like the ugliness is over. That's what I felt being there. Like, all right, now maybe it won't be. Maybe they'll go out on Sunday and they'll play terrible and people will be upset again and AJ won't talk. Like that could certainly happen. But what I'm saying is the feeling I got was like, all right, he's not mad anymore. The players have to play better. The coaches aren't idiots like everybody thinks. Like that's not the problem. If they execute better, they can turn this around. Because Brandon Graham has said it. Jordan Mailata has said it. Jason Kelsey has said
They're
it.
taking accountability. I just think like players, and I appreciate them taking accountability. I think they're putting more on them than it should be on them. Like it is what it is.
This
like,
is the core.
I think Nick Sirianni's done a bad job this year, and I wouldn't fire him, but I think he's done a bad job. Like you talked about it. You think he's done a bad job in game managing and all that stuff.
That's different than play.
I think
yes,
I think his offensive design is weak. I think his play calling or their play calling has been poor or at least not good. You know, at best average. Like I just feel like people are like, wow, it's all good now. I think it's crazy.
Because I think this team needed to feel good.
Sure, everyone does. Like again,
but that's what I'm saying. Like we're a big vibes guy.
I just don't think they're good enough.
But that's a different. First of all,
no, it's not because you're talking about turning the season around. I'm saying I still think they're gonna lose in the playoffs.
Right.
Probably,
and they could
at worst to San Francisco and maybe to Tampa.
They absolutely could. But like the 2017 Eagles, right? Would you agree that run was? Look, they were talented.
They were much more talented.
So, you know what's
across the board.
I think it was Corey in Columbus that brought this up, and I think it was an interesting point. When you look at
you and I have argued about that. I think the 2017 team was a lot more talented than you. I still thought it was better than last year's team.
Well, I've been saying if you look at
I'm talking pure talent. Like
if you look at the corners and like, I think that defense was better than this defense.
Without a doubt, it was.
But like, it was just an interesting point I hadn't thought of. There was not a ton of talent on the 2017 defense.
There was. Of course there was.
Well, I'm saying the corners were bad. We all agreed with that.
The corners were bad, but everyone else was good. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins was great. Obviously, Patrick Robinson was awesome as a third corner.
Good that year,
the defensive line was great with depth, with guys to rotate. Nigel Bradham was awesome that year. Like, they had dudes. Like, Rodney McLeod they had two great safeties that year, including, like, one of the best in franchise history.
Yeah,
like,
Malcolm was a big difference.
Look at this team now. Like, my point is, like, yeah, they have some talent on the defensive line. Like, they have nothing other than Slay on the back end. Nothing. Like, Reed Blankenship is, like, an average player.
Maddox is good.
Maddox is hurt, man. He didn't look like close to Avonte Maddox.
Right.
I don't think you can expect anything from Avonte Maddox. He had a torn pec. He wasn't supposed to play this year. It's cool he's back, but I'm not relying on Avonte Maddox.
Right.
I think the 2017 team was way more well-rounded, way more talented top to bottom, and also the 2017 team, like, that had a group unlike any I've ever seen in terms of connectedness, in terms of loving each other. That's the best locker room I've seen in my life watching sports.
Right, and so this locker room is not that locker room.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making
My point is even like last year, the 2022 locker room, which is a great locker room, connectivity stuff, I think they pale in comparison to 2017. 2017 was the most special group I've ever seen in my life, not just Philadelphia, ever watching sports, in my opinion, as the most special group.
Yeah. The Red Sox team, the one.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
for it, no doubt.
But regardless, I agree with you. But the point I'm making is, like, off the field stuff can impact your performance on the field.
Of course,
that's
it can.
the point I'm
I agree with that.
And so, like, when you look at what AJ did and the vibe, I thought both before and after. Like, I'm just telling you, when
it's what you felt.
It's
in
what
the
I felt.
room.
Yeah.
I get that,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's what every player on the team
It
feels.
doesn't.
It's not what like the group
but AJ,
feels.
AJ got up and apologized to the team,
which
like,
is nice.
I
appreciate that.
It felt like yesterday was the breaking point of the tension. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think the tension was a big problem.
I get your point. I think the tension, as soon as they start struggling, a game is back. Like, I think
We'll
it's
see.
all about
and that's
struggles
what we'll find
and
out
games.
on Sunday, like, for sure. And I think the first few drives of their first playoff game are massive, right? Like, if they can come out and they can get a 14-0 lead or, like, whatever, I think this team is ready to roll.
So you think they're going to go on a run?
Yes, I've always thought they're going to go on.
So you think they're going to go to San Francisco and win in the second round?
I think
they would have to do that to go on a run.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, like,
Well,
there's a chance they don't have to go to San Francisco.
Of course there is,
Yeah.
but let's say assuming things play out
I think
the way.
at San Francisco is the one game I'd pick them to lose right now.
Well, that's most likely what the
Yeah.
second round game is going to
Yeah,
be.
and we'll see. Like, I'm not saying I think they can be uncompetitive in that game. I think they'll go there, they'll win their first playoff game, and I think we'll see what happens in San Francisco.
I'm not sure they're going to win the first playoff game, and I think they get demolished in San Francisco.
I just think they're so much closer than you're giving them credit for.
I don't. I really don't. They
if you
feel
look,
so
like-
far. They just lost to the Arizona
Right, but
Cardinals,
they were
man.
2 or
At
3
at
they're 2 or
home.
3 plays away from winning 3 straight games.
But again, I think,
They are.
bro, like,
They are, though.
do you think this defense can stop anyone in the playoffs?
I agree with you. The defense
That's
is not
it.
good.
This discussion's over. If the
I
defense
don't
can't
think
stop
the
anyone, the
discussion
game's
is
over.
there. But also, if the offense plays better, it helps the defense too. Like it does.
Sure, it
so
does.
I think the offense is like 80% where it needs to be. Like if they do 20% better execution, they take care of the ball. Like I think this team can go on a run.
Again, we disagree on the play calling thing.
Right.
Like that's flat out.
I know.
Like I think the play calling is not
I
good
know.
enough. I think they need to change things,
Right.
which I don't think they're going to do.
And I don't think they need to. I think if they execute
But,
better, they're
okay,
capable
I get
of
it, but
going.
you do again. You realize like the vast majority of people, and not
Yes.
just me, like the John Richies, that like people who played in the NFL,
Yes,
who played in
I
these
get
schemes,
that.
all say this is not good enough. This scheme.
Yes, I get that. I disagree with them.
I know
I
you
don't know
do.
what to tell you.
I
Like
know,
I do.
but like
and then, like I'm
you
open
say
to
it
changing my mind
so
all the time.
confidently
Because I believe the games I watch, I see guys open. I see them scoring points. I see them moving the ball up and down the field. The thing that I see ruining this team is execution and turnovers. And then where this falls on Sirianni too is like sloppiness, substitution stuff, bad time management. That, like again, there's been a lot of discussion on WIP about should Sirianni be on the hot seat. I think the answer to that, I don't think he should be.
Oh, I don't think you should.
But like where I do think the people are missing the point is it has nothing to do with the play calling. The reason Sirianni should be on the hot seat if he is because like if your whole job is going to be to manage the game, it has to be better than it is.
Yeah, I don't think you should be on that team, period. That even doesn't bother me. Again, like I think, like we've talked about, I think going and losing the Super Bowl and coming back is really hard.
Yeah,
and
for
I'm
sure.
giving them a lot of leeway
Yeah.
on that. Like the only reason I said I would even consider Sirianni getting rid of him is if he completely lost the locker room, which it seems clear he hasn't.
Right.
Like that was it. Like it was the single only reason. Like I would not move on. They could lose 45-0 to Tampa, and I'm not firing him. Like I would not get rid of Nick Sirianni. Point blank, period, unless unless the whole, and even then, I don't love the idea of getting rid of a coach because the players want him gone.
I don't either.
Like, I know it's part of it, but you don't want to let the inmates run the asylum, so to speak, and all that
also,
type of stuff.
like, I think it's extremely hypocritical.
And
of
it's a
players.
bad look.
Yeah, well, especially when
Yeah, you
this
talk-
gets
yeah.
back to our core disagreement. Like when I think the players have been the problem.
Well, yeah, and that's the next step. I'm talking
Yeah.
what we were talking about on Tuesday
Right.
before AJ spoke and before he's. But again, I think the coach did more worse than the players this year. Like, and you don't.
Yeah,
obviously.
it's a core disagreement.
It's
we have
our
about
fundamental
this team.
disagreement.
And look,
here.
Lurie has to make that decision too. You know, like we can debate everything, but Lurie is going to have to decide because if he's on your side, then yeah, of course he should be on the hot seat. Like if what,
But
you're
I don't think he should be on the hot seat.
No,
is
but
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
if what you're saying is true and the offense is broken, their scheme isn't any good, the play calling's bad, then like what's the argument to bring him back? My point I'm making
That he is a good leader of men, and that he has done a nice job of having guys' backs, and they care about him, and they want to play for him, and all that. Like if that
but if
stuff's
he
also
can't coach offense,
if
it doesn't matter.
Bring in a smart offensive person to coach. Like Mike Tomlin doesn't coach defense anymore;
Right,
he
but then
just
you're
coaches the
completely
team.
cutting him out from under his legs. Like Sirianni wants to not call the plays. Although this a quick side, I think he calls way more plays than people get.
I do too.
Yeah, like this whole look, Brian Johnson does not call 100% of the plays. Nick calls a chunk of the plays for sure, and Jalen audible. So like I would guess of every 3 plays they run, like Brian is probably directly responsible for like I don't know 1 1/4 of them or whatever. It's a bad way to go about that analysis.
Yeah,
But like 25% of the plays I think are purely Brian.
could have said 4 plays.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think it's probably more than that, but I know what you mean. I think it's like
When you combine audibling, and I think Nick is
I
very.
don't think Jalen audibles that much, man. Like he audibles a little bit, but not much.
I think he audibles more than you think.
like it doesn't seem like it. Like they're like
It's hard to tell.
we
obviously.
very
But
rarely.
there's been
see
a
it.
lot of examples this year where Sirianni has
There's
said,
been like a couple. I remember like 2 or 3 times he
Right.
said it. Like
but they're big plays. Like I think
sure, but I don't know. I haven't gotten the feel that he audibles that much. I could be wrong. Joe's gonna ask Sirianni about it when he's on again because Joe doesn't think he's allowed to audible.
he's definitely allowed to.
I know he is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I'm
Joe's
trying to let
Joe's
Joe-
impression of watching the Eagles is they never let him audible,
Right.
and I think he audibles more than that. I don't think it's a lot. Like I really don't.
I'll have to text Joe and tell him. So help
Yeah,
my
well,
guy.
I mean, there
But,
you go. Yeah,
you know,
that's,
like, so you know, he does audible.
Yeah, but again, I don't think it's a huge part, and And again, like if he's going to audible to the play, audible in the Seattle or improvise the Seattle game, then he probably should
Kansas
audible
City
more.
play works. Yeah. So it's like but the last thing I'll say before we move on is that if you truly think if you are right, if you, Richie, the masses all think the offense is broken, boring, and all that, then yeah, he should be on the hot seat.
Again, why can't he change? He can't adjust. He can't learn to change his offense.
He can try, but it's tough to if you're not.
Why?
If you're someone
Andy Reid has changed 10,000 times.
Yeah,
over
but
years.
he's done it over 20 years.
Right, but you can change over time.
You can change, right?
Of course, that was Chip Kelly's problem. He never changed.
Right.
Like came in with this cool thing and never adjusted.
Right, it's hard to change. Number one.
No, coaches do it every year.
Well,
all these offensive guys. Kyle Shanahan has a different thing each year. He's got doing different things. He's like changing.
I'm curious to know if that's true.
Well, he's changing the way. Like he's not just like Kyle Shanahan didn't run motion all the time in Atlanta. Like you remember that offense?
Well,
it wasn't
personnel
like
yeah.
It's partially that, but it's also partially that he learns and he does new things and he's willing to be creative and new and different. Like Nick can do that. Like I don't think he's can't figure out a way to do things differently.
I agree, but what I mean is like if you're as concerned about the offense than you are, then I'm surprised you don't want him as much on the hot seat.
I don't.
No, I know. Yeah.
Again, because I think he can change.
Yes, you want him to change the offense.
Yes, I want them to. I don't know if they will, but I want a different offensive coordinator, and I want them to change the offensive philosophy to a point. Not completely, but I think I want them to be more creative.
I would be stunned if they hire a new offensive coordinator that's calling plays that Nick doesn't. Like I'd be floored. I think there's a better chance they hire a new head coach.
I mean, I think that's a mistake.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like I do not think they will bring someone in here that's going to run their own offense. I think it will be Nick's offense.
Well, no, but Nick can change his offense.
Change things about
my point is, I don't think Nick's just going to be like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep everything the same always. Like, no one's done that. Bill Walsh changed. Everyone changed.
I'm sure there's been changes.
So that's my point. So I wouldn't fire him. I would give Nick a chance. Now, if he comes back next year and it's the same and all that, then I would get rid of him. Right. But like, I'm giving Nick this offseason. I'm going. If I'm Jeffrey Lurie, I'm saying, hey, Nick, that offense wasn't good enough. Like, I'm sorry. You need to be more creative. You need to find ways to do more things. You need to get guys, whatever it is.
Right.
Like, I'm going to him and I'm saying, you need to change.
Right.
And I'm sure Nick will say, okay, I'll get better. Like, Nick's not going to be like, nah, sorry. Of course he wouldn't.
Well, I just don't think that's what Lurie is. I think the concerns Lurie is going to have, in my opinion, are more related to like locker room and time management and analytical decisions.
Well, I think that'll be a part of it too.
Like play calling, in my opinion.
I think that'll be a part of it.
I just don't think internally they view the play calling as a problem.
They probably don't as much as we do, but I like that.
Well, but I'm saying what Lurie's going to decide. Right.
I think they view it as. I think they view the way the offense has worked as a problem.
So Howard Eskin, who, we would agree is plugged in there, has said pretty repeatedly multiple times on the air, they do not think coaching's a problem.
He didn't say they don't think coaching's a problem.
I'm pretty sure I heard him say that. We can go back and listen.
I don't think he said it that verbatim.
He said he's not. He said it's not the coaches, it's the players.
Well, he has been more on the players than the coaches, sure, but I mean, Howard.
I'm saying that's what they've.
But everything comes from a place, and
yes,
with Howard,
agreed.
it's reporting. Howard, Howard's saying what he's hearing. That doesn't mean that he's hearing it directly from Harry Roseman or Jeffrey Lurie. It doesn't mean that, I guess someone in the organization doesn't want to be like, hey, man, get the heat off the coaches or whatever. It could be anything.
It could be anything. I just mean I don't think internally, and maybe I'll be wrong, that they view this as like a broken offensive system that's in trouble.
But I think they should.
Yeah, no, I know. And look, they could be wrong. Yeah. And I could be wrong. I just mean when people say, not you, but the people that say Sirianni should be on the hot seat, I just think they're saying it for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense.
I get it. Yeah. I think they should. I don't think he should be on the hot seat again. Like, I'm just not there.
And
I would give him again, this guy's gone to the playoffs 3 years in a row. He went to the Super Bowl last year, almost won it.
Sure.
The best winning coach in the history of the first 3 years as an Eagle ever. He's got them by 3 games.
That's also why I still believe in the team. What you're saying right there.
I get it.
Yeah.
We'll get to the. I'm just saying for firing him and whatnot, I would let him adjust, but I would not say keep doing what you're doing. I would say, hey, Nick, you got to change some stuff. We're obviously bringing back. You got to change some stuff. To the this year thing. Again, I think my whole thing with this year, I don't think you're understanding.
It's the defense.
It's fatal flaw.
I get it.
I'm saying that all my belief, AJ could have. The whole locker room could be like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. We love you. It's great. I still think they lose because of the defense. My point is, I don't care how
bad. I agree.
I think it is a fatal flaw.
Yeah.
I just think they can't win because of it. So that's where I'm at with the team.
I think it's going to be hard for them to put multiple games together with that defense.
Yeah.
I think the offense is going to have to be pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the offense
has it in very score every drive, what Arizona did to you.
Yeah, but I think the offense has it in them. I mean, they're 5th in the league in points per drive. There's not many offenses that score at a higher clip than they do. So, if they can just clean things up and play better, if AJ's happy, then I think they have it in them to go on that run.
It's just, I get it. It just feels, it doesn't feel like this is the year, man. Like
It might not be. Again, I was once saying it's hard to come off the Super Bowl, all those things.
I think you're
It
right.
might-
I think you need to go back to
It
what you're
might
saying.
not. It might not be, but like they've kind of weathered a lot of it. Like they're going.
They
through
just
it now.
lost to Arizona.
Yes,
What do
but
you mean
they're
they
still-
weathered
they're
it?
Still 11
See,
and
again,
5.
that's my problem. Is that like we're saying like cause AJ Brown spoke, it's weathered, or like things are just better now.
Right.
Like they just lost to the Cardinals 5 days ago.
right. But
Like
they're still 11 and 5. This is not a team that's.
they're going to be the
4 and 11.
5 seed,
I
man.
know.
They've got to win
It's-
3 games on
I
the
agree.
road to get to the
The
Super Bowl.
5
So
seed
so
is-
I think they did. Earmuffs 1, 2, 3. I think they fucked it up.
Yeah, they
They fucked it up.
they held on almost the whole season, and just right there, they for sure they major slipped up. I agree with you on that for sure. Going from 2 to 5 is a major blow, but like they can beat the NFC South team for sure, right?
Sure.
And then the tough thing is you have to go to San Francisco in the second round. But guess what? Like you were likely going to have to play San Francisco at one point.
Yeah, again, I don't have faith that they'll beat San Francisco
I
at
know
any
you
point.
don't.
And
Yeah.
also, like, what if it's Dallas? You wouldn't feel good about them going to Dallas, would you?
Going to Dallas would be extremely tough. I
Yeah.
do think like having already gone there this year.
Don't
there's
do
some-
you do
I'm-
this? You Mister, they can't win in Dallas. You
I
are the
don't
one who's
think- I
like
would
that's
not-
the hard. You even told me
I would not
after
pick
the
them-
Dallas
I would
game
not
that you would
pick them
rather
to
go to
win in
San
Dallas.
Francisco than go to Dallas.
I would not pick them to win Dallas. I do think it would be easier the second time than the first. That's the only point I'm making. They would have just been there.
I get it.
It's
I just,
also like again, we're overstepping things. Dallas could lose to Washington.
of course they could.
Dallas
well,
could
Dallas
lose
not gonna
in
lose
the
to
fir-
Washington. Dallas could. They could. Anything can happen.
Right. They lost to Washington last year in Washington where they had something to play for. It was playoff seeding, the final game of the year.
No, but they purposefully didn't play their players. We talked about this last time.
Dak played.
Dak played for the first half and then they took him out. And not even that. Like, are you talking about the last game of the year?
From my memory is Dallas lost to
Dallas
Washington.
sat their guys in the last
I'm
game of the
almost
year.
positive Dak played. Do you remember this, Tucker? The Dallas Washington game at the end of the year last year.
Yeah, we can look it up.
I thought Dallas had something to play for and they lost.
They did have something to play for, but they chose not to go for it, is what happened. Because the Eagles were playing the Giants, and Dallas said, you know what, we're not gonna play our guys. Here, let me pull it up.
Well, we'll be able to tell by I guess how many pass attempts Dak has.
Here we go. Oh no, Dak played 37 passes.
Yeah, they played the whole game and tried to win that game and lost.
Yeah, but I feel like 14 to 37.
Well, they definitely didn't pull Dak if he had 37, and I doubt they pulled all their starters but Dak. Yeah, they lost.
But I remember
I'm
that.
looking at this right. They lost 26 to 6.
Yeah, they didn't like. There was something about this game where they didn't play everyone. Maybe because Dak was hurt. Wasn't Dak hurt?
We threw it 37 times.
No, I'm saying he had come back from injury, so they gave Dak. I'm pretty sure they did not play all their guys in this one. Look,
So it looks like CeeDee Lamb, or no, yeah, CeeDee Lamb had 7 targets. Dalton Schultz had 9. T.Y. Hilton played. Gallup played.
Ezekiel Elliott had 8 carries. Tony Pollard had 7 carries.
So they ran it 15. Well, they threw
Yeah.
it 37 times. We should really look up a game story from this.
We should look up a game story.
Right.
Yes.
Regardless, Dallas could lose in Washington. That's all. I'm saying.
Yes, they
The
could.
weather's going to be bad. They're a bad road team. When's the last time they won a game on the road? I know they played tough teams, but they lost to Buffalo. They lost to Miami. They lost to Arizona on the road. And you're Mr. Dallas always blows it. Like, this is –
I know.
Would there be
I
anything
know.
more Dallas
I
and
mean,
going to Washington?
I think Washington, Washington might be the worst team.
They played the Niners tough for 2.5 quarters last week. They did. I'm just being honest. Like, they were – I think that game was tied or, like, they were down
No,
3 at halftime.
they were down 13 to 10.
Right. You're just – I'm Mr. Optimist right now. And you're
I
Mr.
know.
Pessimist.
You're like so optimistic.
But you're so pessimistic, too. Like,
I am.
You
I
are.
am.
Like, you have given up on the team. And it's just crazy to me because, like,
And it's funny
They
because
deserve-
I thought they were gonna whoop on Arizona, and I was gonna be like, all right, you know what, like
Right.
let's not. But they lost Arizona,
Yeah,
man,
things
in a
are bad.
game where the 2 seed mattered.
But that doesn't mean they're
Arizona
done.
went 7 for 7 in
Yes.
drives.
But that doesn't mean they're done. Like they're
I think
playing,
it does,
but
though.
they're playing poorly right now for sure.
It doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't. Look, we've seen examples. The Baltimore Ravens. Someone put that on Twitter. It's a
Yeah, I saw-
great
and I
find.
think that's actually the same
It's
year
like
they
the exact-
fired their coordinator.
The 2012 team, like
Yeah.
they won the Super Bowl. They lost 3 of their last 4. The one they won was an over. It was like the eerie. It was like
Yeah.
the exact games that played out exactly the same way, and then they went on to win the Super Bowl. Yes, like stuff can happen.
Yeah.
I get it. I just don't. I can't sit here like you and say I have confidence that stuff's gonna happen because I don't. I have zero confidence stuff's gonna happen. I might be surprised. Again, to your point, the only argument I have right now is anything can happen. That's
But
it.
and I'm just saying, like, as a friend that wants to see you believe, they are above anything can happen. Like they
I
might
don't
not
think
be
they
as
are
good
right
as we
now,
thought.
though. I
So
mean, they
you
just
think the
lost to
NFC
Arizona.
South teams are better than them?
No, but like I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are better than them. You know what I mean? And
Agreed.
they just lost to them. Like my point is, I think the Eagles lose to anyone right now. I think
I disagree.
they just lost.
I know they did
at
but they-
home. So
right.
hold up. Arizona is the second worst team in the NFL after Carolina.
Right.
So I guess if I rephrase and say I think they could lose to anyone but Carolina right now, would that be
Then-
better
then
for you?
Yeah, I'd be more into that.
Okay.
I just don't think they would lose
just
to
lost to Arizona.
Yeah, but I look, they're not playing well. Like I don't know what else to tell you, but like that doesn't mean I'm jumping ship and like being like this whole season is
I'm jumping
washed
ship.
and they're losers. Like
I don't think they're losers. I've come around to what I should have thought from the beginning, which was your great point that you should have stuck with. It's really freaking hard to lose the Super Bowl and come back around and turn it on and get back. I'm not like freaking out. I don't think they're losers. I'm not worried long term. I think Jalen's gonna be fine. Like, but I just don't think they have it in them this year. I don't think they can do this. That's where I'm at.
we'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
Probably on Monday night when they're the 5 seed.
All right, quickly the starters thing for Sunday. Obviously, there are three options really. It's start them and play them and hope Dallas loses, or just play them because they need a positive. Sit them completely and assume Dallas is going to win, or play them for the first half, see what the Dallas score is, and then sit them if Dallas is winning.
So I'm like torn on this one. On one hand, I think the organizational philosophy of protecting players is one they should stick with.
Mm-hmm.
They're going into a terrible stadium. The weather looks like it's going to be bad. There is part of me that thinks the smart thing to do is the same philosophy they have with training camp, which is like prioritize health. I think that's probably the right move. But then there's also part of me, it's like they do need good reps, and Dallas could lose. I think they could go win with Mariota. So like I think if they played the backups, it's not like they're forfeiting the game.
And the Giants should have beaten the Rams last week. I mean, the Giants are not horrible. The Giants almost beat the Eagles. Let's not forget.
Yeah. I think they dominated.
game in
that
the fourth
game.
quarter.
I know. But I think that game was not as close.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. But like, push come to shove, if I was in a room with Howie and Nick, I think I would play him. I think I would.
The
Or
starters?
maybe you have the backups
That's funny
out
because
there.
right before we started the pod, you said I wouldn't play him.
I know.
That's wild. You really
well,
are
just
torn
because the
on
more
this
I
one.
think about
I'm
it,
torn on for what's worth too. Like my initial instinct, in general in these situations, I would say sit guys. Like in general, especially MetLife, but like to
Right.
the point, it's like, can you go into the playoffs off the Arizona game and have any
but
sort of confidence?
part of me is almost like I'd rather have him like not have another bad outing.
Well, that's an option too.
You know,
I know, like, but
maybe the vibes
but
are.
if they're gonna have a bad outing, like they weren't gonna beat them anyway. You know,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
if they're not gonna show up this week against the Giants if they play, like it's like, all right, well then
yeah.
it's
I
let's
just
see.
like. Whatever.
It is. It's a really interesting one because I think, look, I think that I don't think you look if you want to plan for the first half and then take him out if Dallas is winning, that's fine. I don't think you count on Washington. I think you have to plan.
What if you do the reverse? What if you start your backups, see what's
and then
happening, and then put the starters?
Oh,
You could do that.
that's no one ever does that. That's
Yeah.
a fascinating thought. Kind of don't hate it.
Now, I mean, if like the backups are winning, maybe you like
Yeah,
you
that's
roll
a
with
really
it.
interesting
But
one.
you could
Look, I think the biggest question is do they need the reps? Like, do they need to go out and play together again and get on some sort of roll? Or like, you don't know they're going to get a roll, but the point is going in, do you say, like, I can't go into the playoffs off Arizona?
Right.
Like,
So
I need them to have some.
how I kind of feel about it is it's almost like so my brother used to pitch when he was young, and he used to be so afraid to do it. And I'd be like, come on, man, you got to go out there and do it. And every time he took the mound, it was like, I know it's the right thing that he's going out there and like facing his fear.
You were super nervous.
But there's
in it?
part of it that's like, but if he gets shelled, it's not great.
Yeah.
I think they should go out there because I think they need good reps. But the flip side of that is I'm
Is
a
if
little
they-
nervous to put him
Oh.
out there and like, they like win 17-14 or whatever. Like it's not a impressive performance.
It's not. Yeah. It's a
But I would say
situation.
also that ship's probably sailed. Like they are either going to play better in the playoffs or not. It
I
really is what it is.
That's
Like-
honestly, at the end of the day, I'd probably sit him because of that. Like, what is a half against the Giants
But
going to
you
do?
definitely have to monitor the Dallas score.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
You absolutely. Have
Well,
to.
yeah, and again, there is no worse outcome than you sit the guys and lose and Dallas loses.
Yes.
Like that is the worst possible outcome.
Well, the worst possible outcome would be you play the starters, you lose, and Dallas loses.
well, that's true.
That
no,
would
you're
be-
right.
yeah, that would
Great,
be-
Elliot.
That would be the
Well
worst
said.
possible
That is
outcome.
by far, and obviously people getting hurt is
Right.
Like honestly, I would almost take like an injury to someone over sitting guys losing and Dallas loses. Like
Yeah.
that just feels like you got to be
Well, the good news is it looks like Devontae is.
doing good.
Yeah.
Would you play him on the MetLife turf? Because I would.
No.
He must sit, as
No.
far as I'm concerned.
Dude, I'll just say this quickly. Like, this is why all stadiums should be domes, by the way. The fact that it could snow in this game on that MetLife turf. Like, I hope everyone on TV enjoys it while the players are risking their careers, slipping and sliding on this turf. Hope it's really fun visually while, players are in serious risk.
It's all about the dollar.
yeah.
It's all about
not the
TV
players, yeah.
networks.
Yeah.
All right. This was good. I need to get a little yelling.
I can't not believe. I don't know what to say.
I know you're really in.
I truly believe that we are still under. Like,
Look,
it just floors me how much people jumped off this team for the last year and a
But
half.
you
We were
can
like, they're the best thing
understand
since
it.
sliced bread, and now it's 1 month, and everyone's like they have no shot. Like, I agree,
Again,
it looks
I would have
bad.
been back if I bet on them to beat the Cardinals. I was in. I laid the points.
Nah, you were loosely in.
No, I'll show you the bet. I bet on them. I actually raised it up to minus 13.5 from minus 11.5, saying they're going to stomp the Cardinals, and then we're all going to be like, all right, you know what? Maybe
And they were stomping the Cardinals. That's the worst part. They just
lost.
Yeah,
The Arizona Cardinals.
I know, but they were stomping.
Defense could not stop.
Agreed. The
a
defense was
nosebleed.
bad.
Yes.
Yes. And I will say this for the defense, if you actually want to look for like one more positive thing. So they missed the most tackles of the season, and they are the third best tackling team in the league. So you could look at that as a bit of an aberration. I'm just saying, you really
are
could.
Just full of
But
positivity.
I'm saying you really could.
You
Like,
are
if you
like Mr. Positive.
if you want
I
to say
love
why
it.
they could turn it around, it's that the defense uncharacteristically missed tackles.
Okay, I like it. All right,
And that's also on the players, not
All
the
right.
coaches.
that's good. All right,
Yes.
coming up in a minute, we'll get to the picks.
So look, we just talked about it. There's a chance on Sunday that these players, unfortunately, are going to be playing in bad weather. And why is that? Because winter's here. I said that not as how I wanted to say it. Winter's here. Like,
yeah,
it's
it's
cold.
not winter is coming anymore. Winter's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And if you've had enough,
Trust me, as someone who wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, going outside in the morning in the winter, it's not fun.
frigid.
It really sucks.
Frigid, yeah. So for the players, one way winter impacts them is they play in bad weather. The way it could impact you is if you've had enough of the cold drafts blowing through your old windows, bundling up in layers of clothes and blankets, and hearing the heat turn on for the 5th time this hour. I still get afraid when I hear my heat turn on. I don't know why, but I do.
What?
I'm just like, what if it doesn't turn on? Or what if that's like a noise of it breaking? But anyway, so I agree. You don't want to hear your heat turning on all the time because it's not good for it to do it, I would imagine. That's my professional opinion.
It's a professional opinion.
Then
all
it's time to talk to the pros at Window Nation. Window Nation. Why am I saying things flat today? Replacing
right. I
those.
think you sound great.
I don't know, man. I'm not saying with the enthusiasm I want to, but replacing these old windows with quality, energy-efficient ones from Window Nation is easier and more affordable than you think. Right now, through the end of the month, replace the windows in your home and pay no interest for 5 years. That's a great deal. And on top of that, Window Nation is also giving you 50% off all window styles. Our professional installation means your windows will fit right, and you won't have to worry about leaky, dirty windows and those cold drafts letting on your heat all the time. Man, I am just, so I did 6 hours of radio on Tuesday, and I feel like it impacted my voice.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It's soft of me, but it's just true. I don't know what to say. It is. Don't wait. With
You
zero.
okay?
Yeah, I am. But yesterday, my radio hit my voice sound messed up. Like,
He's a mess over here.
yeah. Don't wait.
Jack's voice is messed up. We're not recording high hopes today because his voice
Not recording.
isn't good
Clap
enough.
your hands because his voice is
Boy,
good enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a diva, right?
Yeah.
How
Well,
many times has this guy done a pod with no voice? It's all I do.
I will
Right?
say,
every run that a team goes on, by the end, I'm talking with no voice.
but here's what I'll say: one of the many positives of your voice is it kind of always sounds the same.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point of this is don't wait. With 0% interest for 5 years, why not give Window Nation a look? Let us show you all the options to fit your needs and budget. It's easy. Simply call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION. Visit windownation.com and never have a sore voice from bad weather.
That's right. And let me tell you, when I'm sitting at home, cold day, watching sports, I just want to bet on them. It just makes it so much more fun. I'm so much more like Saturday. We're about to big games. Saturday, there's a Steelers-Ravens game and a Texans-Colts game. Let me tell you how much I care about that. Zero.
Well, the Texans-Colts one's a good one.
Squat ta.
Yeah.
You know why I care about it like more than anything ever? Because I'm betting on those games with the Bet Parks app. And I'm going to be locked in like it's a freaking Eagles game because I have money on Shane Steichen and I got money on this.
Your boy.
It's going to be so much fun. Honestly, it just takes something that is like, oh, that's sure, I'll watch sports, to this is all I want to do in the world right now. It is the best. Plus, you can bet on everything. You bet on individual game stuff. Let me tell you, you're watching a game, bet on who's going to get some yards, bet on touchdowns, bet on all
Live
that good
bet.
stuff. Live betting.
The Eagles were minus 530 to win the game in the third quarter against the Cardinals.
Should have live bet on the Cardinals, huh?
Yeah.
That would have been a good bet. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the positive of that, though, is it shows that they were dominating that
Yeah, well,
It was an upset. That
you're
they
right.
blew.
How badly they blew it.
Yeah, they
You're
blew
right.
it,
An
for sure.
embarrassment.
It's unlikely it'll happen again.
Yeah.
That's what the odds tell you.
That's-
That is what the odds tell you. How many times do plus 400, 500 things hit? We can say for sure.
I'm gonna guess
Not
the
often.
Eagles when they were up, whatever it was, 10-0 on Seattle had a pretty good live bet.
Yeah, I agree. It's unlikely they've been losing these games. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Download the app. Listen, the Eagles probably won't be playing that much longer, so you need to have some.
Good God.
You need to have something to get you excited about football, and that's the Bet Park Sportsbook Casino app. Here's a great deal for you new users. If you sign up now, make your first bet. If it's a $10 bet, it's a winner. You get $125 in sports bonus back. It is an amazing deal. You must be 21, present in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right.
All right. How you feeling?
Elliot.
All right, we made it through the contentious portion. Now we're on the same time.
Yeah, so
We're
now it's
rooting
time
for each
to.
other
So
again.
I realized we didn't do picks last week.
I know. It was a massive mistake by us.
I feel like though.
Is it because I'm beating you so bad in picks that?
No, I think actually what it means is we're tied going into the final week.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's because it was my fault and
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
able to record.
Well, we'll do it now though.
It is 100% my fault. I just want everyone to know I went 15-1 in my picks last.
Yeah, I went 16-0, so it actually
look
worked
at you.
out
You
well.
gained a game on me. Look
Yeah.
at you. See, I tried to, not go all the way, and you went for it.
Yeah,
so that's good.
well, I had a great week. I got the Eagles game wrong actually. I'll
when-
admit it. Got
when
the Eagles
don't you
wrong
have a
on.
great week?
It's
I mean,
true.
look at
True.
you. You look.
Wait till I'm
amazing.
in San Francisco.
You look so
and
fly
then-
right now. Like, come on.
I know. I do like this jacket.
You look great.
I know. It's gonna be wild when I go to Tampa, then San Francisco, and then be back home.
Well, the wildest part is that
I was not gonna travel. at
that's
all,
what I was
and
about
now
to
I'm
say. It's like
traveling
you were
every
like
day.
so sad. Also, by the way, speaking of Bet Parks app, I'm gonna lose my Eagles to win the NFC East bet.
Yeah, it's an underrated part of this.
It is
That
that
they're
this
not gonna win.
stupid freaking thing is still going on. No, I'm so tired of this dumb
Yeah.
NFC
Well, look,
thing.
no matter how you slice it, it means the Cowboys aren't winning it next year.
It's a great.
There's no other way to say
Elliot,
it.
look,
like,
you made me feel better.
yeah, like
now it's just a thing. Now
well,
I totally
here-
believe it.
In all seriousness,
That no one will ever win the NFC East in back-to-back years
if,
again.
if,
That's
if
how I
you're
feel.
truly out on the team, the good news is then next year, like everything's gone. The
You're
Super Bowl
right.
hangover's gone. The
Great
NFC
point.
back.
No, I mean,
East is
I
gone.
think this is
like,
a great point. Again,
yeah.
I'm excited for next year. Unlike most Eagles fans who are like freaking out, like I think Jalen's gonna be much better next year. I feel good. I feel good.
I think Jalen should have made the Pro Bowl. By the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
It's-
look, we know if Jalen has not had the season we all hoped he would, or he hoped he would, or whatever. Like, did he not beat Matt Stafford head-to-head? Does he not have more touchdowns, more total yards, more like
they've
that?
completely erased rushing yards.
It's
like,
outrageous. It's like they're not even there.
Right. He had more yards, and like you want to say, Goff is another potential example, right? Goff has more wins. He has more yards than Goff, more touchdowns than Goff.
It's just
Like-
honestly, and I would put Goff over Stafford for what it's
and,
worth.
and for what it's worth, like the dude was second in MVP last year. Like, when does he get the benefit of the doubt?
Totally with you. And again, he's better. He's been better than Stafford. He has a better record too.
Yeah.
It's like every metric you want to use to judge a quarterback, other than maybe passing yards, he's better.
Well, it's
And
crazy
passing
to think a
touchdowns.
month ago Jalen was probably going to be MVP,
I know.
first team All Pro, Pro Bowl, and now
Thanks
he probably
for-
won't be anything.
Thanks for well, he definitely won't be all pro. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for
well,
reminding me of another.
He's not going to be MVP.
Thanks to you for reminding me for another bet I lost, my preseason.
MVP.
That one was only I lost $20 betting on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl and Jalen to win MVP. I guess the
Well, they didn't.
Super
They
Bowl
did
is
not win
over.
the Super Bowl
Yeah.
yet. I'm just saying, Mister. Like that one is not cashed
That's just
out.
$20 that are gone right now. It's just over.
Well,
It's a shame.
honestly, you should double down.
What I should have done was freaking cash out on my NFC East bet.
What you should do is bet the Eagles win the Super Bowl right now. They're like plus 1,400. I'm just saying, if like, these are the best odds you're gonna get.
I think
Oh,
Cleveland.
I guess
is
they,
the
if
best
they
odds out
lose,
there.
if they Cleveland's not winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, ready for this?
There's no way you believe Joe Flacco.
I think Cleveland has a better chance to win the Super Bowl than the Eagles.
I do not believe that.
I do.
I know you do.
I think the AFC East is a much, much easier path. And Flacco's been great, man.
Is
like
it?
if you watch these games, like he's
Is it a much
awesome.
easier path?
Yeah, of
There's
course.
Miami's good, Buffalo's good.
It's a lot of okay
Baltimore's good.
teams.
Yeah.
When I think there is one juggernaut team. Well, I guess Baltimore's really good too. So that's not fair.
Dude,
Baltimore's actually better. Never mind. Baltimore's really good.
The
too.
crowning of the 49ers, like there's some like
No, they're just
unbeatable
better than
dynasty.
They're just better
playing
than the rest
great.
Of the teams
They're
in the
playing
NFC.
great.
I
Right
think
now.
I think Baltimore's the best team. That's my
McCaffrey's hurt. Purdy has been hit or
McCaffrey's
miss in the
fine. It's like
playoffs.
a calf thing. He's not playing.
He's
last
not
year.
playing. A
'Cause
calf
they
injury from
already
a
clinched the
a
one
calf.
seed.
No, I know, but I'm saying like a calf injury on a running back.
And he's got 2 weeks off. I think he'll be
All right.
fine.
I don't think the Niners are winning the Super Bowl.
I think Baltimore's winning the Super Bowl. I think the Niners are getting to the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
Want to bet on it?
I mean,
You could have
I
the
think
field.
I certainly deserve odds.
You get the field. You got everyone else. I'll give you
All right.
2-1 odds.
Fine. I'll take the field.
Okay.
Bet.
Bad.
Bet.
We did it.
Bet.
Let's dive in. We got 2 games tomorrow, 2 Saturday games. Or I'm sorry, Saturday is not tomorrow. Wishful thinking from
Right.
We're right here. Gonna wake up again tomorrow at
Right.
3 o'clock. Saturday though, we'll be back at Parks. Check us out. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Unless it snows.
I think we'll probably still be there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So good for us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive in. Ravens at the Steelers. I'm sorry, Steelers at the Ravens.
Nobody's playing in this game.
The Steelers are playing everyone because they're still fighting for a playoff spot. The Ravens are not.
Yeah. Sorry.
Steelers are a 4-point favorite. I'll take the Steelers.
Yes.
In a game they
I
have
will
to win.
too.
Though you never know, but yes. Tyler Huntley can play. It is a good one.
Although
Like I
honestly,
said
what
before,
I should do is I might just pick the opposite of you on every game.
just to try. Oh, it's not a bad idea.
I'm not gonna do that, but I will take the Ravens. I guess.
That's good. All right. Wait, you're gonna take the Ravens now? You're flipping?
No, I'll take the Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
This is a fun one.
Texans Colts. Is it for the division or can the Jags still win the division? How does that tiebreaker play out? Does anyone
It's
know?
all types of things. I don't understand.
There's like a million
Yeah,
different. Okay.
yeah. Here's what I'll say though. There's a part of me, and I don't want to be this guy that doesn't want the Colts to win. 'Cause I don't want to hear any more of the Shane Steichen stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Just being honest.
I would trade him for Nick right now.
God, that's okay.
Steichen's a genius. Freaking love.
Yeah,
that
he's
guy.
a wizard. Yeah,
I really do. We're joking and stuff. Like
he's
I
doing a
said
great
that,
job.
and I really do think he is the biggest thing they missed from last year. Personally, I think he is the biggest loss from last year. You could argue
In terms of
talent
loss,
on defense,
like
certain guys.
yeah,
on
if
defense,
you could tell me I could take one thing back from last year,
it would be Shane Steichen for me. If you could only take one thing back, it's that, or I
Sam
guess
Malo
like
would be an interesting one.
Javon Hargrave would be an interesting one.
Yeah,
Obviously T.J. Edwards.
I think I
honestly-
would take a player.
honestly,
I would
T.J.
take.
Edwards might be.
Yeah,
the one.
I would
He's
definitely
really
take a
good in
player
Chicago.
over him.
Yeah, I would take Steichen. But regardless, Colts a 1-point home dog against Texans. Texans line there.
I'll take the Texans.
I'll take the Colts. Look at
Okay.
that. You didn't even have to do it.
Yeah, I'll take CJ Stroud.
Ride with my guy Shane.
Yeah, the wizard.
Minshew to outplay
Right.
Stroud. All right, let's get to Sunday. The Wizard. I like what a nickname.
Well, you're
I'm
the one
just
that
gonna-
called him that.
I know. I
yeah.
keep saying he's a wizard, but I didn't actually decide to call him the Wizard. So I'm gonna call him the Wizard now. So
All right.
now whenever I'm gonna refer second, I'll just go with the Wizard, and you'll know what
Yeah, it's such an infuriating nickname. But
the Wizard and his squad at home on Saturday night. We'll pay attention to that one. Can't wait to bet on that at the Bet Parks.
yeah,
I will say the Saturday night game betting on the Bet Parks app
It's
is
really
nothing else
fun.
going to
Yeah. sit at home. It'll be snowing out
Yeah,
or
it's great.
raining, whatever.
All right, Sunday. Let's get to the games. Let's plow through these. Atlanta at New Orleans. Important game, actually. Is still a lot. I mean, Tampa has to win, but if
Right.
Tampa loses, either of these teams could still get
Man,
in.
if the Eagles can somehow go to Atlanta,
Oh,
that would be,
Face Bijan in the
yeah.
first round. Ho ho ho!
yeah.
Atlanta.
You better not pick them to lose to it.
Atlanta 3-point dog.
Um,
I will tell you this. I'm going to pick them to win. I mean, assuming nothing crazy happens this week.
right.
I'll pick them to win that first round. I do think they win, but I would be a lot more nervous about Tampa than I would about Atlanta.
My clear power ranking would be
Tampa, New Orleans, Atlanta.
yes.
In terms of don't want to see the most.
Agreed.
But New Orleans, I put New Orleans closer to. I think Atlanta. It's really want
Agreed.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
Because
agreed.
New Orleans is a little scary,
And it's tough to go in Atlanta. In
New Orleans. It would
yeah.
be going into the Superdome.
Yeah, I think
and
it's the
also just
toughest
a
place.
weird, funky team.
I agree. Carr,
I
like
can't get a read on them.
every time. I think I've never seen them win there.
I feel
too.
like I've never picked the Saints right. I feel like every week I
Agreed.
go, they just throw me off every single week. So,
well, that's why I said Carr is just like. I
so here
can't
we
quit him.
go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Saints here, and I'll probably be wrong.
Me too.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
You probably should have taken Atlanta. All right, let's keep going. My Browns.
I can't believe
I
it,
do.
yeah.
I will say, and I've said
That's
this
what I
with
said to you 6 weeks ago. You think Joe Flacco would have
I
a better
know.
chance to win the Super Bowl?
I
than
know.
Jalen
I know.
Hurts?
I know. It's sad.
Stick to your guns a little. All right.
Flacco's been awesome.
Mr. Eagle, Mr. Jalen's the next Jordan.
But again, I
and-
keep it real.
I know you're
I
keeping
still
it real.
believe in Jalen.
Yeah.
I
I just think you should
still believe in Jalen.
I
Big
know
time.
you
Moving forward.
Well, then here's another reason you should be more optimistic. If you believe in Jalen, then they'll have the best quarterback in almost every game.
like
they
I
play.
think Joe Flacco might be the best quarterback I've seen over the last month of the season. Is what I'm trying to say. Like in terms of just watching games, I think Joe Flacco has impressed me
I do
the
think
most.
Stefanski's probably coach of the year.
Him or Steichen, probably, yeah. Or D'Amico Ryans, too.
Nah,
for that matter.
I would give it Stefanski over Steichen.
I know you would. I mean, D'Amico Ryans, they had the second pick.
That being said, the Colts probably have a lot of wild plays.
he should be, I mean, more than Eagles. D'Amico Ryans should be considered, too.
Yeah,
He
agreed.
was
There's
the
a lot of
two
really
pick
good
in the
candidates
draft
this
last
year.
year.
Like
Yeah.
the fraud Dable coach of the year last year.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah.
Should have been 0. All right. Browns, a 7-point dog in Cincinnati. Obviously, they are sitting everyone they already said.
Okay. all right,
They're locked
then
into the 5 seed. Cincinnati playing for something.
Then
They're
I guess
still
I'll
the
take
playoff.
Cincinnati.
I'm going to take 7 points feels like a lot for Jake Browning. I'm going to take
Yeah,
the
but they-
Browns and feel like they're backups. Keep it close.
All right. Fair.
This is my call. I still think the Bengals win, but I don't feel great about it. All right. Jags, a 5-point favorite in Tennessee. Jags
It's a good
are
one.
For something Tennessee not.
I kind of feel like the Jags are going to blow this.
I do too,
But,
a little bit, but I'm torn on it.
but I'll give Doug the benefit of the
I'll
doubt.
ride with Doug
Yeah.
too. I think also because I think Tennessee I don't think Vrabel will ever go and wanting to lose a game, but I think Tennessee they've nothing to play for. I think organization. By the way, that
Vrabel's
video
probably
of
gone.
the was contracts, which is wild.
Yeah.
The video of the Arizona Cardinals GM watching the end of the last drive. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's hilarious. You know he wanted to lose.
So-
He desperately wanted to lose that game.
Yeah.
I mean, as he should. Well, that was what was funny. As it was happening, I was thinking about it. I'm like, as they're driving on that last drive, I'm like, this is one of those hilarious spots that you see at the end of football seasons where both teams' fans are rooting for the same thing.
The only
We wanted to
Agreed.
win, and the Cardinals fans.
the only
wanted to
counter I'd give is I do think if you're going to keep Gannon and Murray, it
Sure.
was a big boost for them.
I guess, but if you're a fan of the Cardinals,
No,
or
I
you're
agree.
the
You'd rather
general
have them
manager of
lose.
the Cardinals.
100%.
Yeah,
Rather
you wanted
have
them
them
to lose, which is hilarious. It's funny that happens. It does.
So you know what's funny? I ended up in the elevator with the Cardinals coaches on the way down.
Oh.
No Gannon. It's all the people that are upstairs.
Gannon probably would have.
And it was so funny.
Back all the time.
The
He
things-
probably should have. Gannon probably owes you.
I agree. But the things they were saying were so funny. It was the most generic. I couldn't tell if they were doing a bit. They were in the elevator being like, man, we worked so hard all year. The players really deserve this win. I'm like, what is this? I'm not recording you. You can't say anything more interesting than that. Curse or be like, he's like, we really deserve this one. And I'm like, wow.
That's really funny.
I was like, I expected more interesting stuff
Yeah.
than that.
God,
I wish they would have
what a horrible
been
loss.
man, they always do this on offense.
What a horrible loss that was.
It was a bad one.
It was a bad one. I mean, it's one of the worst regular seasons we talked about.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. I agree.
All right, Vikings at Lions, a game that has, I guess the Lions still theoretically playing for the 2
Yeah,
seed.
because they could be the 2 seed. Yeah.
They are
And the Vikings are
Vikings are out.
they're out. Okay.
Vikings are done. As a result, the Lions, without much to play for, a 3.5 point home
I
favorite.
would take the Lions.
I will too. I feel like
Yeah.
Daniel's going to go for it.
Yeah.
All right, Jets, a 1.5 point dog at New England. Fire this game into the sun.
Yeah. Man, I guess New England, but
I'm going to take the Pats too. I will say, very sad that in the last week of the season you couldn't even roll with your Super Bowl pick.
I know. Well, you're not
Aaron
rolling.
Rodgers
You're
went out
not
4
rolling with
plays
yours
in.
either. So
I actually think the Bills might win the Super Bowl for what it's
True.
worth.
Well,
So
we both picked the Eagles.
No, we both. I was
I
saying
know,
the
yeah,
other one,
yeah,
Jets.
you're right,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
had the Bills. You had the Jets.
Belichick's last game with the Patriots.
I am probably.
Eagles coach.
I mean,
Oh, I would hate it.
I
so
would not
much.
get rid of Sirianni, but if
I have.
Belichick, because obviously this would be the case, if Belichick said, yes, I want to work with Howie, I will come in and he can pick the players and I'm going to coach the team. I'd be lying if I didn't say that intrigued me a
Okay,
little.
so we don't have to get into this because but I'm saying
Yeah.
this in all sincerity. It's not to get at you. What I would rather have Brian Johnson as the head coach
Stop.
than Bill Belichick.
Dude, it's the winningest coach in the history.
Yeah,
or
I
the,
have
or the best.
0% interest
I
in
know.
Bill.
You're a
Belichick
hater.
coming here.
You're a Belichick
He's
hater.
trash without Tom Brady.
He has
he
no
is.
players. His roster
It's
is
his fault.
barren. His guys fought hard.
You can have Josh McDaniels and Patricia as your coordinators next year.
I mean, if Belichick's here,
Oh,
whatever else
God.
happens, No, I think Belichick's done a bad job staffing and stuff, but I still think he's the best coach of our lifetime, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Andy's better, but whatever. I'd rather have Andy.
I'd rather Bill, but I get your point. But regardless, I would. Again, I'm not firing Sirianni, so I'm not saying I would take Bill over Sirianni.
I'm
or
gonna
anything
tweet.
like
I'd
that.
rather have Brian Johnson than Bill Belichick as my head coach.
I'm sure that'll go well.
I believe it to my core.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah,
but
well, I
get
believe
it. All right. I know you believe it. I think it's crazy.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think it's crazy to want
All
Bill
right.
Belichick. I do. He's washed and old, and you can come here super motivated.
Yeah, I do. What I will say is wherever Belichick goes, I think he goes there super motivated. I think
I was
he goes
right
there
about
to say
Patricia.
bleep all y'all.
Right.
I'm Bill frickin' Belichick. I'm about to win wherever I go. I really do believe.
Oh God! And then him and Howie together, I just it would be such a disaster.
Think of a more.
I don't think
legend
he'd make
too.
it through
That'd
a
be
full year, and other than financial implications.
He would win the Super Bowl, but no big deal.
Okay.
No big deal.
Yeah. All right.
Your Belichick slander is outrageous.
Well, do you want Patricia back as your coordinator?
Dude, Patricia hasn't worked for him for years. He's got other people now. Patricia, he doesn't.
Patricia's already in the building. You think
Yeah.
Belichick's gonna come here as
I
head
guess
coach?
Patricia worked for him last year. So it's not that
yeah. We worked for 90% of
I
his
don't care.
career.
Dude, I honestly, I don't really blame Patricia.
I do.
think
They
he's
look
done worse
poorly.
than Desai, but I don't think God could get this defense to play well.
Well, Desai had it playing well, and I wouldn't call him.
Desai did not playing well yet. I'm playing better than this, but they were still bad. They made a few stops. They had a couple good games.
Yeah.
But let's be honest.
Well, I was the one admitting that, like, I have a. Whatever. I'll hold it.
What was that? Go.
Okay, all right.
Let's
So
do it.
you know
Go
how I
ahead.
felt with the AJ Brown presser?
Uh-huh.
You remember when we almost did the I was wrong about Howie pod and
Uh-huh.
we didn't?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking yesterday. Like, because like I did the Players Lounge on Monday, and like BG was. You should listen to it.
So
It's
you're
in the
saying
feed.
because that happened?
Yeah, it was like the breaking point. Like when I left Chickies on Monday, I was like, man, they're really screwed. But hearing AJ, I was like, thank God I didn't say that.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm happy. All right, Bucks at Panthers. Bucks a 4.5-point favorite.
Only 4.5 is weird.
Well, Baker Mayfield might not play.
Oh yeah. Well, then maybe it really won't be the Bucks.
Yeah, it's possible. Kyle Trask might be out there.
I'll still take the Bucks.
I'm going to take the Bucks too. I think they find a way to get it done. All right, Bears at Packers. Packers a 3-point favorite at home with a chance to make the playoffs. That is a low.
Bears are playing really
'cause
well.
The Bears are playing good
And they've
football.
clinched the 1 seed, right? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
one.
the Panther because of the Panthers. Yeah,
Right.
I'm still going to take the Packers because winning in. But like the Bears are tough, man.
I'm gonna take the Bears.
I like that. It's a good pick for you.
I'm gonna take the Bears.
It's a good pick for you. I almost took him. All right, here it is. Dallas at Washington. What do you think the line is? Do you know it?
I don't know it.
There you go. We don't do this enough.
Dallas at Washington, 4.5.
You think Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite in Washington?
Okay, I'm gonna go higher.
By my reaction?
Yeah.
Dallas is a 13-point favorite in Washington.
I'm taking Washington.
I'll take Dallas.
It's a lot of points.
It is.
Has Dallas won a single game on the road by 13 points this year?
I don't know. I think
Okay.
Washington. I think Washington is going to fold up their tents. I could be wrong.
Ron Rivera's last game. Play hard for him.
Sure.
Sam Howell, revenge game.
All
All right.
Honestly,
I wonder if it's going to be snowing.
13 points is probably too many points. You're
probably
probably
won't
right
be
to
snowing.
take. You're probably right to take Washington.
Yeah.
You know.
there.
I think the line tells you what's going to happen.
I can't wait till we're doing the post game pod. And Dallas is lost. The Eagles have played great. And you're like back in.
You don't think this is going to happen?
I think there's a good chance of it.
You think there's a good chance Dallas loses? Really?
I think there's like a 40% chance.
They're a 13-point favorite in Washington.
The Eagles are minus 530 to win.
I
against
think there's
Arizona.
like a 5% chance.
I wonder what they were last year when they lost by 20. Like I'd be curious to know what the line was going into that game. I'll actually look it up.
Look it up. I'll
That'd
bet
be
it
a good
wasn't 13.
indication. Here we go. Show game info. I still have it up from where they were 7-point favorites.
Not 13.
Not 13, but they were 7-point favorites and lost by 20.
I feel pretty good about it. Not I don't feel good about it, but I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I know you will be.
A lot more surprised than you. Denver at the Raiders. Still playoff implications, I suppose, in this one. I think.
Really?
Are
No,
they both
Denver
done?
must be out of it.
Did they win or lose?
Oh yeah, you're right. No, okay.
I don't know if they might not actually be out
I'll
of it.
take
You're right.
Denver
They might be out of it, actually.
Yeah.
You might be right. I'm
I'll
not
take
sure what
Denver.
type. You will take Denver. I will take the Raiders. The
All right.
Raiders. Antonio Pierce. This
You never
guy's
said the
playful.
line.
-3. The Raiders are a
Okay,
3-point
I'm just gonna
favorite.
take the
Yeah.
Broncos.
All right, Chiefs at Chargers. Chargers a 3.5-point favorite. I mean, screw this game.
right.
No, it means nothing for anybody.
I'll take the Chiefs.
I will too,
Yeah.
actually, because I think like.
Is it in Kansas City?
Easton Stick? Like whoever the Chiefs backup is, he's probably better.
Or is
than
it? It's
Easton
in
Stick.
LA.
It's in LA.
So I think Taylor would be there.
Is that good or bad?
I think good.
Has it been though? In
You
all
know-
honesty, outside of like the relationship and the love that you have for it and all that, and I've said to you, I think you're right.
Matter.
You were dead on. You were like, this is real. I believe
Yeah.
it, and you freaking nailed it. Like honestly, it's one of your best calls of the year because everyone else was like, no way, and you
Yeah.
were all over it.
Agreed.
Respect, credit. Do you think it's been good for the Chiefs?
I
I don't blame her for
Well,
losing.
here's a
I'm just
better
saying, do you think it's
question.
been good for them.
has it impacted the Eagles?
How so?
Well, she's tangentially involved.
Not really. I don't.
I'm just I'm surprised no one's had that take yet. I don't believe it has, and I don't think it's impacted the Chiefs. I'm sure Chiefs fans are annoyed by it.
I think so too.
I'm sure.
And again,
that-
I think that is silly. I mean,
yeah.
like
Oh,
she's.
and Chiefs fans don't strike me as like.
I saw a funny tweet where it was like 53 players, these many coaches, whatever, and it's like, and you're blaming the woman.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Wow.
kind of right about that. You kind of nailed
Yeah,
that. Yeah, like, are we
right.
serious here? Like those guys stink, and that's on them. They don't stink, but
Yeah.
that's on them, not on her.
for sure. But I'm sure like if she was dating, I'm trying to think who on the Eagles is.
Yeah. Oh, we would be.
Like,
Of course.
whoever. Like
Oh,
it would be a
happen.
major talking
If
point.
the season went the way it was, and she especially because like they were playing well, and then
Right.
it was like right when she came along,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So yeah. But I agree. I think that is absolutely insane and silly. All right. Rams at the Niners. The Niners a
Carson.
4-point favorite. Niners, I guess. Makes sense. I forgot it's Carson too.
Anti-Carson line.
Yeah, I'll take Darnold. I'll take the Niners.
Yeah, I'll take the Niners.
Eagles at Giants. Wow.
Yeah, the line is weird on this one.
This
I
is
did
a
see
weird-
the line.
This makes me think they might not start their guys.
So, you know what
all
actually
their
is
guys.
this line 4.5?
It's 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
the Eagles are
I think I saw it at
5-point
4.5.
favorite. Yeah, the
That's
Eagles
why I
are
was thinking.
5-point favorite in New
Okay.
York. That is. I mean,
I agree.
I was expecting like minimum 7. I was really expecting like 8.5.
So there's two ways to look at this line, and one is they don't think they're playing their starters, but the
Two
other
is that they
the-
just don't think they're that good.
exactly.
Yeah.
That was my initial. I didn't think of the starter thing.
Yeah. I think honestly, what I probably think it is, I probably think it's both are baked in. I think they probably be like a 7-point favorite, but they're like we're
they're
gonna
on the
play the
road,
change.
there's weather.
Well, and also again, it's not just if the starters start. There's the point of like what we said before. Like the starters could play the first half.
and come out.
Dallas is
yeah.
up by 30, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, obviously I'm not going to play these guys in the
Yep.
second half, and then they end up losing or whatever. So it's a risky one.
I guess I'll take the Eagles.
I will too. You know, we'll end the season right, but
Yeah.
like it's a really weird game. Okay, Seattle at Arizona. Seattle a 2.5-point favorite. Tough end for Seattle after beating us to
Yeah.
blow it like that.
Yeah.
Tough.
I'll take Seattle, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bills Dolphins. Great.
I can't wait.
Great-
For this game. It's so
great
upsetting. I'm
game.
going to be driving during. the
Great game on
Um,
Sunday night. Especially like as we mentioned last pod, like this one, Miami could go from the 2 to the 6 or 7, I believe.
And
Buffalo go from the 2 to
to
out.
out. Yeah. I'm going to go Buffalo.
I am too.
And this is in Buffalo? No, it's in Miami. I'm going to go Buffalo.
Kind of like the Bills.
Dude, I kind of want to get a hotel room Sunday night just so I can.
Oh, just stay up there and watch the game. Why
yeah.
don't you?
And it's actually with the weather. Maybe I will.
You
I'll
should
ask Rod.
stay up there. Yeah.
Yeah. No big deal.
I feel. Yeah. Like, just,
Yeah.
I feel good about the Bills. You know, how down I was, which is a good point, Elliot. Remind me how down I was on the Bills. I told you they stunk.
I've done everything I can to get you back.
I
on the Eagles.
honestly, if this had happened to the Eagles in the middle of the season, I think I would have maybe been able to get back. It just feels like it's like the playoffs about to start.
It's perfect timing.
I do appreciate your.
I actually think it's
positivity.
harder to turn
And
it
I
around
will-
in season than it is for the
I will
playoffs.
say, look, I don't believe in them because of the defense, flat out. I do think that, like, is there the chance they look better in the playoffs? Of course.
Well, you're
I mean,
also Mr. Cunningham. Cunningham's going to be back.
I do
Slay's
like
going to
Zach
be
Cunningham.
back.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. Is the defensive line going to get pressure in the playoffs, or you think they've been
It
saving
would
it
be
up?
ideal.
Just can't wait for Rashad Penny to come out running all over
Yeah,
everyone in the
well,
playoffs.
I wonder if Penny, might be a fun play this
Why has he been on the roster?
week. Yeah. I
Oh,
agree.
he'll play this week. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, why? All right. You got anything else for final
Well,
thoughts?
no, not for my final thoughts.
Final thoughts, my friend.
Okay, so I'll go first. I have two good ones. I think they're good at least. All right, I'll go with this one. So
I like that you qualified.
yeah, I got.
I'll be the judge. No.
I got Kristen a record player for Christmas,
Nice.
and we've been listening to records.
Yes.
And it's
You
so,
noticed a fuller sound.
so in all seriousness, I really did.
I told you this,
Yeah,
right?
and,
Didn't I say
yeah.
this to you when you got it? I was
you
like,
really, there really is a
I said-
difference.
I know. Yeah.
But my bigger takeaway is, I think like when people used to have records, they listened to the whole album, and I think like CDs and stuff. I never listen to full albums straight through.
Mhm.
A, because you can just pick and choose, but
Totally.
also it's so easy to skip. It's like skip. Record player, you gotta like pick it up, like get it on the line, like you gotta count. Like
Yeah,
I
well,
just think with record players, you listened
well,
to
and
the full
tapes too,
album.
and tapes too. As someone who grew up with
Yeah,
cassette
tapes. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it was annoying. You had to fast forward
And then like
hold
rewind,
it down and then rewind again.
yeah.
So you do a cassette tape too, but it's the
Yeah.
same idea, and I totally agree with you. I
Yeah.
think CDs and really Spotify, Apple Music, all like the new stuff. That's when it like completely. And
When
now
they
it's just-
sold singles
and
stuff like that.
yeah, people don't even make albums anymore
Yeah.
because of it stuff. But I totally agree with CDs, and then especially like iPods initially, whatever. It all changed. But I grew up with albums. I grew
Yeah.
up listening to start to finish. Like that's I love that song.
And I think that's just like the main difference now
Yeah.
to me. Of having the record player, it's like we put it on and it's
Play
just
an
not
album.
worth the hassle.
I really
But
like
the
that.
annoying part about record players, I'll say, is so obviously I got the Zach Bryan album, clearly.
I mean, duh.
And it's 2 records with 4 songs on each side.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Like every 4 songs, I got to switch it.
Wait, I thought records held more than that.
Maybe
Is it
they
just this
decided to do
specific
it
one?
this
Yeah,
way.
they
I don't
must
know.
have because
I
like, you
have
can
like
buy
a,
one record for an album that is
I have
way
an
more
old
than
Frank
that song.
Sinatra one, and it has
It's
like
all in one thing, right?
9, 10 songs
Yes,
on one side.
that's a true.
Yeah.
I might want to take it out with your guy Zach.
Well, the Spice
Zach, why
Girls
are you
one we
doing
got
that?
has like 8 on each side too.
Yeah, so like take
Yeah.
it up with Zach. Be like, Zach, do
I
do
agree.
better.
But that is the annoying thing, and like the convenience of new music is it does play straight through. You don't have to worry about it. But I think the positive is we've been listening to full albums.
I love it. I do think that is a good final
Thank
thought,
you.
and I love it. All right, my final thought. I said it was a good one. I mean, it probably won't mean too much to you, Elliot. But
Yeah.
All right. And this was, you'll appreciate this. I'll throw in a free extra take too.
All
Because
right.
I watched Home Alone and Home Alone 2 over the break.
Nice.
Home Alone 1's way better.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, I thought you said. I thought you
I
were
said
a
I
Home-
changed my mind on this.
Oh,
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's
okay,
better.
Good. All right, good.
It's,
Let-
it's not so much
No, it's
better,
not. Look,
but it's
2 is
better.
very similar to 1.
Yeah.
It's just 1's better. But 2 is very good.
You
I
know
really
what's
enjoyed
interesting
2.
about Home Alone? How little the robbers are in it. Like
Well,
you think that
you
the
think
whole
it's
movie
like,
is.
it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like the final 20
I mean,
minutes. yeah.
there are spots before, but
in the first one especially. The second
the
one,
most
they're in it
the
way
thing
more.
about Home Alone 2 when you watch it, it's like everyone's so overqualified for it. Like John Williams does the music. Like John Hughes, where I'm going to get to, wrote it, obviously. Chris Columbus, right? It was like one of the great kids movies.
It's also
of all
when
time.
like sequels really matter.
And then Joe Pesci. It's like Joe Pesci's an Oscar-winning actor playing that.
it's what he's most known for.
No, it is not.
That's what I know him most for.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I know,
just
but,
saying.
you know, you've heard like everybody funny. I'm a clown. I'm here to amuse you.
Where's that from?
Goodfellas.
Oh yeah, I
man.
haven't seen Goodfellas.
I know. We went through this. All right, here's my take. It's basically that we don't talk enough about the greatness of John Hughes.
Who's John Hughes?
I figured that was going.
This is a musician.
No, he's the guy who wrote Home Alone, and not just that. He's the guy who. So this is a 9-year run for
So
John
these are
Wayne.
movies he wrote.
Wrote, directed some
That's
of them,
what I
but
mean,
wrote
right, okay.
mostly created all of these. This is from 1983 to 1992. Every single one of these, at least a certain, are either fully iconic or
Right.
mostly iconic. Like these are this is just in a 9-year period. He did Ferris Bueller, Vacation, Christmas Vacation, European Vacation, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Home Alone 2, Mr. Mom, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Weird Science, Uncle Buck, and Beethoven. Those are all bangers. Like, those are all movies that to certain types of people are, I mean, Ferris Bueller, one of the most iconic movies ever made.
Right.
You know, like Pretty in Pink,
Beethoven,
16 Candles,
yeah.
Beethoven,
Yeah.
iconic kids movie.
Home
Home
Alone,
Alone,
yep.
one of the iconic.
Planes,
Think-
Trains,
These are
Automobiles.
9 years.
Yeah.
This guy made 12 or 13, like, iconic freaking movies.
He's
And
got to be pretty rich.
he's dead.
Oh,
But
well, he must have been.
he probably did well for himself. But the boys, we don't talk enough about John Hughes' greatness. We John Hughes, like, oh yeah, John, like he was a freaking goat. Like,
Is
honestly,
he better
you
than
could
Spielberg?
no, so that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking, like, I was like trying to think of like what director's top or director, writer, whatever, their top 10. If I took their 10 best movies and put them up against Hughes, like who beats him? And it's like probably only like Spielberg and maybe
Yeah.
like Scorsese and a couple. Like, but Hughes is like he is not talked about. Like that was a freaking list.
Yeah.
9 years. John
That's
Hughes, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like top 3 most influential movie people probably have to be like Spielberg, him, and then Steve Jobs.
Well, I mean,
Well, Steve Jobs invented Pixar.
how about Alfred Hitchcock?
Nah.
No. Oh, really?
Nah.
Okay. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
I mean, we eat birds
or
or
if
whatever he did. Like
To Alfred Hitchcock's top 10.
Yeah.
Hughes.
top 10, I would agree.
No. I'm saying his top 10 movies beat Hughes's as well. He's
Oh.
all Alfred Hitchcock's the most like again influence and what the like you just don't care about that type of stuff.
I mean, Steve Jobs literally invented Pixar.
Well, no, Steve Jobs is a good
Yeah,
answer,
yeah.
but he's still not bigger than Alfred Hitchcock in movie history.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
not.
I agree.
No, you don't. But you're I hate you for it.
I'm
I
not,
absolutely hate you
not
for
gonna
it.
fight this battle.
Good, you shouldn't, because
Yeah.
we will spend the next hour
I know.
yelling at each other. All right, this is fun.
Yeah.
Saturday Parks, check us out. We'll be there. And then daily pods.
It
For
begins
how long?
every
buddy?
single day next week. Well, at least 2 weeks, because they'll win their first one and then.
Uh-huh.
So.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah,
so.
they will.
Either way, until they lose, we'll be there. And we'll be
Yeah,
there until they
every
lose.
day at 10 a.m.
Every day.
for appointment listening. if people
Appointment
wanna know.
listening. Check us out. And
Watch us on YouTube.
Yeah,
You
check
can
us
get
out.
in the chat. Tucker, do you respond to people in the chat?
Tucker will start responding.
Yeah.
in
All
the
right,
chat.
Tucker. You should start responding to people if people are putting things.
Yeah.
They aren't very nice to you, but
They're not nice to me.
no, they're not.
Really?
Ooh.
What are they saying?
What are they saying? Yeah. that's a nice
Elliot's
little-
views are so far from reality.
Okay. Yeah. all right. Wait till they win. That's all I'm saying. I also was.
It's
what-
so hard to watch Elliot like this.
nice.
This is
Keep
the
going.
worst I've ever seen.
I can't tell
Yeah,
you
I like how you're not responding to any of this.
Well, do you want me to back you up? Like,
Well, how do you feel?
Just right. Agree.
Who do you agree?
I mean, we all feel it in the room, don't we?
Who do you agree more?
The tension.
Who do you agree with more, Elliot or James?
I agree more with James today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you're wrong.
Thank you.
I just can't believe how quickly people gave up on the team. That's it.
I know, but
Yeah.
you can understand it. Or you can't believe it, but you can understand it.
I understand emotionally giving up. I think if people could look at this rationally, they would see there's still belief. I'm serious. Like a month ago, we thought they were the best head coach quarterback duo in the NFL.
Again,
and now all of a sudden
How
it's
many
like
times do I need to say
they had a bad stretch.
the
and
head
the
coach
defense,
and quarterback
I get it.
are not the biggest problems right now for me?
But
It's
here's
the defense.
the good news
they
is-
can't stop anyone.
head coach quarterbacks win in the playoffs.
Not with defenses like this, buddy.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
Fingers
see.
crossed. Look. Here's what I'll say. Please be right. I am fully on rooting for Team Elliott right
Right.
now. I just
Well, get
keep it
ready.
real. Okay. I can't wait. All right. Check us out Saturday. All our real ones. We want to talk to you. Until then, he's Eliot and James.